LeetCode Problem number 127, word ladder. So this problem gives us a description of a transformation sequence. So basically what it wants us to do is from beginWord, which is a string, to the word endWord, using a dictionary given to us as well called wordList. And we have to find the number of words in the shortest transformation sequence from beginWord to endWord. And here there's some rules where the pair of words would differ by a single letter only. And yeah, there's some other specific rules here. But basically here it gives a very good example. Let's say the begin word is hit and it is looking for cog. So what we can do is from hit, we can go to hot, right? The I and the O differ from one character. From hot, we can go to dot, to dog, and finally to cog, which is 5 words long. So my approach to this problem is to use a breadth-first search by changing all the characters in the begin word. So it will look something like, let's say from hit, right? So from hit, so you can either from here branch out to 3 paths where you can have something like git, where we change the first character, we change the second character, or we just change the third character. And from there we can branch out again until we eventually reach our end, right? That's pretty much it. So it is a bit uh, actually I won't think this is a very hard question, but let's begin with the code. So here let me use an example. Okay, this is a good example. So I'm using a unordered set to store the dictionary. So here I just I just construct my unordered set using the wordList vector, because I would like to use the find function only a map can provide, or in this case the set can provide. Here I do a generic test if I can straight away find the end word, or in this case I cannot find the end word. I have to return 0 if no such sequence exists, right over here. And then I'm using a queue for the breadth search. So for every sequence, like I mentioned just now, for every sequence, I'll be pushing it into the queue, from there to branch out and branch out more. Okay, so that's what the queue is for. So I push my queue, I push begin word into my queue, which is hit, initialize my result to 1. Let's have the result over here. After that, we enter the while loop. So this while loop will keep iterating until the queue is empty. So let me shrink. So until the queue is empty, and if the queue is empty, we know that we have went through all of the word in the word list and we cannot find a path to the end word, which in this case we will have to return 0. Otherwise, we're expecting a end word, which will return result over here. Right. So here I get the count. In this case, the count will be the current queue size, which is 1. And here I run a for loop, which will iterate the amount of times based on the count, which basically means we are iterating through the characters in our queue for the current term. right? So my word is now hit. My word is now hit. I pop from the queue and I check, and my word is not endWord, so we're good on that. So here I have a for loop. This for loop will basically iterate through every single character in the word, right? You iterate through every single character in the word, and it will try out from character A to Z, right? So what this means is it will basically treat it as a wildcard, and from here we can find whether or not we have a matching wildcard in our word list, right? So first thing first, we save the original character. So we save the original. I won't save it. Actually, I will. Original. Let's say the original character in this case is H, right? Since C is not equals to our original character, so we're good on that. And you basically try out from A to Z, lah, right? Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I'll save it because we're not iterating through manually, but we're just using the star, which indicates that it could be from A to Z, right? So if you look at our map, right, remember that we're using a dictionary, not from the actual word list, but I'll just use this word list as an example. Just treat it as our dictionary, right? So if we're looking at our dictionary, we do not see a match for this, right? So what we have to do is we replace back with the original character, which was H, and we move on to the next character and make that a wildcard. So now we can see we have a matching word, which is hot. So when we do find a matching word, we push the word into our queue, hot, and then we have to remove it from our dictionary. Okay, once that is done, can we find anything else? Not really. So we move on to the next character, hi something, and we do not see anything here. So in this case, we can just finish this for loop. And since we have reached our end count, which was 1, we increment our result, right? So our result will now become, and now we have reached from hit, right? So right now it's from hit to hot, right? To hot over here. Actually, I don't think I'll be saving this because there will be multiple paths, but let's continue nonetheless. So count, I get count again. Count remains the same at 1. I run another for loop. So another for loop. With the word now it's hot. I pop from our queue. I check if it's the endWord. If not, then I run the for loop for each character, making into a wildcard. So if we look at it here, star OT, we have dot. We have lot, I guess they say. Yeah, we have lot and nothing else. So replace back. Now we change this. Nothing over here. All about this. Nothing as well. Okay. Once we're done with this, we increment our result once more to 3. And then now we reach the new while loop. Our count is now 2 instead of 1 because we have 2 words here. We check whether our current word, which is dot, is not equal to our end word, so we're fine on that. Another for loop to do the wildcard thing. So we try this, don't see anything. We try this, nothing as well. Try this, do something, and we have possible, which is dog. Right, put it over here. Yep, dog. Okay, and this was originally dot. Yeah, so this will be popped. And now we move on to the next word, which is lot. If I remove this, nothing. Replace this, nothing. Is this? We have long, right? So that's what we can put here. We move from our dictionary, and remember we must pop this right over here. We pop it. After that, increment our result to 4, and now we are trying out dot. Right? If we replace this, we can see that we have a match cock here. Remember to pop this, and you know the rest. So this will be ignored, ignored, and then increment our result once again. Our count now turns to 1 because we have only one word in our queue. Our word is conch, pop, and since now the word we have pop is equals to the end word, so we return the result, which is 5. Yeah, you can see here the output is 5. Okay, so like I mentioned, this algorithm is using breadth first search. It's pretty simple once you know how breadth first search works. Other than that, that's all I have to show. Thanks.